Hello everyone. If you're watching this, that means the Nintendo Direct, the first one 2022, will have streamed, and I am presenting my thoughts on the matter here, and also I'll give a brief overview of the releases and what I thought of them, with Shinya Takahashi from Nintendo presiding over the ceremony. So let's get this started. First up, we have Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which is a Warriors Musou title set in Fire Emblem 3 Houses story, to which I would say yes please to that. Presumably given how Koei Tecmo and Meg did a good job in the last Fire Emblem Warriors game they did. I might not as be a big fan of like the main Dynasty Warriors games. Like when the materials apply to other series, it can work quite a bit, I would say. And it's also coming out June 24th, so unless a title came out after the Direct or does not have a concrete release date beyond a certain time frame like 2022 or a different season, I will be posting it in the description, so there we go. Okay, so I mentioned before I'm not really into this one, but Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, after being delayed from its intended release last year, is now coming out on April the 8th, so I will say this. I don't hate strategy titles, as I will get to in the rest of this video, so you Fire Emblem fans want to enjoy this, go ahead and enjoy it. No, you Advanced Wars fans, go ahead and enjoy this. Go ahead and enjoy it. I'm not going to try and stop you, so let's keep going. Hey, and this is a bit of a surprise. No Man's Sky on Switch. I mean, after it went from being an indie darling to being like a launch laughingstock to actually redeeming itself full circle and becoming an entertaining game. Hello Games exploration title is now being imported to Switch, and actually looks pretty decent, all things considered. And I heard people advocating for this game in the past, then turning around and being disappointed with it, and then turning back around to actually enjoying it once all the updates are coming through, with more coming. And it's like a textbook example of a game having a listen to a launch and then bouncing back over time. It's like even when other people tell them to pack it in, and fans, especially developers themselves, said no, this game still has a shot, and against the odds, it worked. I mean, I'm thinking Cyberpunk might also be heading towards that route as well, though that's not to say it works every single time. Hello there, Anthem, Evolve, and Battleborn. But even though there's no date for this one yet, it's in summertime, we'll definitely wait and see what this is like when it comes out, so yeah. Okay, so, and now we have the first surprise of the presentation. Mario Strikers Battle League on June 10. And it seems that I would have been fine with just like a remaster of like the first couple games, but instead we have a whole full-on new installment of a Mario Sports spin-off, which has never really been huge by any means, but has remained something of a cult favorite among many, like more. This over-the-top kind of soccer title. And well, it has some elements of rugby in there as well, which is, it's like they mashed together like the American football and the international kind together. Even some elements of the Can't Mario Spikers game, which allegedly got canned for being quote-unquote too violent, which, despite the fact they've since put out games which have sold like hotcakes and have had way darker content since that. Even though I'm not gonna sure how like the upgrade system is, I can see hints of it and they described it briefly, but as long as it's all being done with in-game currency, I think I'll be fine, because I'm not big on the whole live service scene of everything, but thankfully, hey, neither has Nintendo for the most part. Because in general, I've noticed that apart from the mobile market as a whole, it's not really as popular in Japan as it is in other parts of the world. Compared to China or South Korea. So, yeah. And we have an update about Splatoon 3 as well, which is one of the things I was hoping for. I got another one. The other hasn't come yet, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But the next wave of Salmon Run, which has new enemies, such as the fish stick, insert South Park Kanye song here, and the big salmonid who one can terribly describe have somewhere in between let's say Jabba the Hutt and Baron Harkonnen in the original Dune, not the remake just came out last year here. And with that in mind, I'm really liking there's gonna be some new moves that will be useful for hopefully there'll be other ways of directing your teammates, and also like the whole being able to toss last egg in there, which can often make me a difference between victory and defeat. And I'm glad I had to practice more on the second game, Salmon Run, and especially like how it's an easy way to build up, have cash for as well as unlock weapons and gear. So there's no official date for the game just yet, but it says summer, so using the last two games as a barometer, it makes sense to me, with the first game coming out in May 2015 and the second in July 2017, so anytime between May and or August would definitely fit that criteria, so yeah. Okay. And for strategy titles I could see myself trying, Front Mission First, which is coming out in the summer, and while Front Mission 2, which are coming out soon, which are something of enhanced remakes of the first two Front Mission games, because it's very well documented that only the third one came officially to the States on the Sony PlayStation in 1995. They're basically but thankfully each one's own standalone entry in the same visual universe. And it's got a cult following here, and I can see myself trying these. I never really played them that much. I was more of an Armored Core guy back in the day, but I definitely feared the worst after Front Mission Evolve, as well as even more so Left Alive. I've almost tanked the whole franchise. I don't mean the ones who's they're messing around with either. So I definitely could see myself trying these potentially when they come out. So yeah. Okay, so in the summertime, there's no Mario Kart 9 just yet, but in the summertime there will be a new free-to-play racing game called Disney Speedstorm, which is developed by the same people who made all those Asphalt games. I mentioned my Netflix gaming impressions, not really into that series, but be interested to see a Mario Kart clone with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Mulan, and even Mike and Sully Monsters Incorporated in a few in there, so yeah. I'm actually kind of interested to see what the special moves might be like, especially with Donald's road rage there. Again, knowing how angry his character typically is it definitely would not surprise me he's that way behind the wheel. It's not the first time they made a Disney-centric kart racer, so it'll be one to keep an eye on, I'll submit. This is the first direct of 2022. You looks to get 2 lightning rounds this time around. Here's the first one. There's no Batman on Arkham on the system just yet, but in descending order of my personal anticipation, your minds may vary. We have Star Wars: The Force Unleashed coming to Switch. It's dank on 420. We have the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, and on February 17th, which I just say meh, not really a fan. And my blarg goes to SD Gundam Battle Alliance, that is coming this year. I'm just not a big SD Gundam fan, guys. I'm just not, I don't think it's as bad as Seed Destiny was, but it's still consistently in my mind, at least for a Gundam anime ever, so. Yeah. Here is another pleasant surprise from this presentation. Not only are they finally bringing back Chrono Cross after all this years, I mean, like, even though I may not like it as much as Chrono Trigger, it's still got its good points, and even more so, it's going to be the first time they're bringing the Radical Dreamers novel alongside it to the States. I mean, officially, I think there may have been some fan translations of it a while back, but I'm not certain. What I am certain about is that I'll definitely be enjoying this game again once it comes out on April 7th. I mean, like I said, if you're into RPGs, it's definitely a good console for you, and even if I'm not as into other ones, which I'll talk to later in this presentation, this one definitely know I'll be keeping an eye on. So, yeah. And with this in mind, well, there may not have been any more news about Bayonetta 3. It doesn't have an actual date yet. Still, it just says 2022. But another game I'm looking forward to, which is one of my anticipated ones this quarter, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. I keep saying hands instead of lands. Get it right. There's new information about the title. We have the new Mouthful mode with possibilities such as like a vending machine mouth, the cone mouth, the scissor lift mouth, the ring mouth, arch mouth, Lightbulb mouth, water balloon mouth. My personal favorite is the car mouth. We've had ones where Kirby's turned into like a wheel, a rocket ship, and I think a tank, but I think this is the first time I've seen it turn into a car just regularly, but looks like it'll be an enjoyable game, and definitely worthy of the brand with its 30th anniversary this year. And I definitely want to have my pre-order paid off before it launches on March 25th. So, looks like it'll be very fun for you. So, I got some good news and some bad news. Like, the good news is, like, the former PlayStation exclusive MLB The Show series is now able to be released on other platforms, including the Switch, including this year's installment coming this April on the 5th, so more people can play it. Bad news, it looks really rough. For those people who are on about Pokemon Legends Arceus perceived technical issues, just look at this game, and once again, and further compounds that realism does not equal quality. Normally I'm impressed by how real like this series looks. Like, I keep having to make sure that I'm not just looking at actual footage from the game and more actual real MLB footage. But yikes. I hope the actual release looks better, but just in case, if you want to play a different console, I'm not going to hold it against you, so let's keep going. So, Kingdom Hearts Integrum Cloud version is coming to Switch by the time you probably see this, and I played a bit of them with the trial versions, but still, it's one you kind of had to have an internet connection, man, that's good, at least on your end, to play it well. I already have these games on other systems, so it's not really going to be a deal breaker for me. However, this actually makes more sense to just have some occasional cloud versions on the system, and as opposed to jumping all in this dongle. Again, Patrick kind of whiffed it because like Stadia is selling off their tech potentially to other buyers, so yeah. But back on this, they're good games, but I'm gonna wait to see what people think of them first, on the system. So, the third one is the only one I understand why they're doing the cloud version. I don't know why they had to do like the first two ones on there, or given how, especially like Birth by Sleep, I think came up on the PSP, which is like a less powerful system than the Switch. So there's that. Yeah. Okay. July the 8th, Klonoa Phantasy Reverie. So, they've been talking about doing this for a while, and funny thing, while one update Hey, well, some of the leaks and rumors and speculation were not entirely accurate, as I'm about to tell you more about. As it turns out, this one actually was right on the money. This is like an HD version of the first two Klonoa games with new content and in it, so it definitely looks like a game and collection I could see myself enjoying potentially. I mean, it's been once I've played them, and I am actually really glad because even though Klonoa has never really reached the same kind of pop culture pedestal as someone like, say, Sonic or Crash or Spyro have in terms of platform mascots, that's this. He's always had this kind of unique look about and apparently they're gonna remake the second game as like the Wii era, but since the first one didn't do so hot, they pulled the plug. But hopefully, it'll work on the system this July. Yeah. So, and with this is just another collection of beloved games coming to system. The Portal Companion Collection, which include both games' groundbreaking Portal platformer series, and I'm definitely very glad to see that. And I guess Valve finally managed to broker a deal, and like, I don't need or want a Steam Deck, guys. I mean, I know this is definitely going to be surprising a lot of people, but anyway, I'm glad this is happening, and I definitely would like to give these a try on the system, especially given how it's once again proof that you don't need to have like a protagonist talk throughout the entire game in order to understand what they're feeling. I mean, I really don't think these games would be as acclaimed if Chell would not stop talking throughout the entire experience, so yeah. And hopefully if it does well and runs well, the system will see other games that came up on the console, like the first two Half-Life games, Team Fortress 2, and a few others as well. So, and funny thing, we've got another game that never previously got released in the US. This from Square Enix, Live Alive, which is one that takes place across multiple different time periods and character arcs. So it's one I'm going to wait and see if it works on July 22 before I give it a try. I mean, since before we find out whether or not this is like a classic was previously lost to sands of time, or maybe something that shouldn't have been and brought overseas to begin with. I mean, yeah. But whatever the case would be, I guess I'll know how to feel on July 22nd. I mean, the only thing they really have to compare it to with the kind of storylines like Trials of Mana, which is a game I absolutely love, both the original and its more recent remake, so there you go. And a new title, which is going to be coming out on April 29th, Switch Sports, which is something that's spiritual successor to Wii Sports, and I can definitely tell that Koizumi Yoshiaki is having fun. I am glad you can use the Miis because these new models weren't really my thing. It's weird because most of the game, it looks pretty good for the system, but I don't know. The other models they use are kind of just rubbing me the wrong way. I mean, not like you couldn't just use your Miis and have that work fine, given how the Miitopia re-release on system was pretty fun, and how flexible the creation system was, turning everyone from Spider-Man to the CDI Mario to Pikachu to even the Clone High version of JFK, among other ones. Nothing bad ever happens to your Miis. Yeah, I'll keep going. We also have another Taiko no Tatsujin game coming this year, Rhythm Festival, which has at least 76 songs to start off with, plus the Orchestral Zelda Theme, and a subscription service where you can have access to 500 songs extra. Not sure how much the going would be, but I at least know it'll definitely be like a better value over time than Spotify would be. Too soon? well, whatever the case might be, hey, it should be a fun game, all things considered. I'll keep an eye on this one. Okay, there's also the Triumphant Strategy Prologue Demo. We can transfer progress over the full game when it launches this spring. I definitely think it should be a good RPG, given how Autopath Traveler was fantastic, and the whole H2D style is something I'm really loving, like how capturing the best elements of both old and new, and like how you can use that for technology, because I keep saying, hey, it's not sheer raw power that makes good visuals. It's making the best use of the tools you have. And this is a perfect example of that. Oh, on that subject, Cuphead Delicious Last Course is coming to the Switch on June 30th. Studio MDHR's love letter to classic animation and side-scrolling shoot 'em ups gets the last content update, and also, incidentally, it's around the time for the Netflix show to start as well. Hell, and I'm really liking the whole classic style of animation being brought back, and in a big way, a lot more something that's uniquely not quite Disney, not quite Fleischer Brothers, but has the best elements of a lot of those ones, and the music is really good. But especially, I'm looking forward to actually giving this one a try when this last piece of DLC finally drops. Yeah. Now we've got Metroid Dread being updated with 2 new modes that just came out. The Dread mode, which makes the whole game into like a one-hit death run. The Rookie mode, which is definitely for newer players, or people just want to take it easy more. And the Boss Rush mode is going to be coming in April, so I'm glad that they're still supporting this game post-launch, and how it also further compounds that even if this may be the last game in the Samus Metroid storyline, the franchise will continue. Yeah. And also, even though I'm working on getting some controllers for my system, I am seriously tempted to pick up the Samus Amiibo now that they're finally in stock in my area. Like, gotta make do with the supply chain what you can, I presume. Yeah. Another pleasant surprise. This one also dropped right after the presentation did. And now, after much fan demand, and Earthbound Beginnings, known as the first 2 mother games in Japan, are finally on Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo Entertainment System Online, and Super Nintendo Online. 2 of the company's best RPGs ever made are now finally available to play on the system once again, which does give me some faith that we might finally get the 3rd one in the States. Officially. It's still a trilogy that influences role-playing games and has for some time, with not only many developers going on to become key figures in the Pokemon series, but also influencing titles just like the Deltarune and Undertale games, as well as Omori, and not a bit surprised that Fox is a big fan of these trilogies, so... And let's keep this going, there's only a few more titles left. The second lightning round of games where we have a wide range of titles such as Zombie Army 4 coming April 26, Getsufumaden Unyielding Moon doesn't have a release date yet, just 2022 I believe. Demon Slayer Hero Chronicles coming June 10th. It was hers good on other systems, hopefully it worked well on this one. Lego Brawls also coming on June 10th, like a Lego themed Smash-like title. I still haven't tried Nick All-Star Brawl yet, but Shredder's dropped, and I'm also wanting people the invite to Multiverses. And 2 Point Campus coming on May 17th, so... And next up is another example of why I only follow official news and reveals, and don't really put much stock in terms of rumors, leaks, or speculation. Alright, So, we're not getting Mario Kart 9 just yet, or at least it's not in the conventional sense, as instead we're hitting DLC tracks for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which the first wave includes Coconut Mall for Mario Kart Wii, the in-scale version of Choco Mountain, Tokyo Blur for Mario Kart Tour on mobile, and a combined 48 courses is to be released through the year 2023. So I would presume that if we are going to see another fully on upgraded Switch, we maybe won't see that game until that comes out, like not counting the OLED or lights, but a full-on upgraded SKU potentially. So however, I'm liking the variety of courses and how it's shown it's going to be incorporating courses throughout the entire history of the series. It's definitely not a conventional way to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the series compared to Kirby and Mortal Kombat, but I'm still keeping an open mind, to say the least. Yeah. Yeah, and the presentation ends on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. A lot of people are excited for this one, but I'm not going to be among them. I'm sorry, guys. I'm simply not interested in Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't care about Xenoblade, and to paraphrase Encanto, my favorite song from it, I don't talk about Xeno, no. Oh, so I will say this: Samain, as the first Nintendo Direct of the new year, here with more to come, presumably. It's a mixed bag, but overall one that definitely had a lot of interesting titles: high highs, low lows, and middling middles, like every other time of year does. I mean, I don't claim to be an authority on the matter, or anyone's quartermaster, just my own personal. I'm just like a 30-something guy with a webcam and a bit too much time in their hands lately. So anyway, that'll be all for now. I'll definitely see you all tomorrow with the next Peacemaker video, and this weekend hopefully my spoiler review of Eternal. So take care, everyone.